How do you think this changes spectator attendance at games or events, both short-term and long-term?
Well, it changes it short-term differently than it changes it long-term. Hopefully, no matter how traumatic this experience is and how much our lives have been shaken up, over time, people will return to what has been the norm, what feels comfortable. There's going to be a new normal, of course. I think it'll change some people forever. What percentage, I don't know. I've seen surveys indicating that perhaps half or just over half the people at this moment where we are right now would feel very uncomfortable going back in stadiums for sporting events this summer. And I can understand why. You've been told a lot of things, a lot of conflicting things as this has evolved. So it's been confusing for people. How are you going to go from where we are now to suddenly the all clear, let's pack the stadium? I don't think that's the way it's going to unfold. I think that the people in one part of the country are not on the same page as the other, to answer your question. I mean, there's people who are college football fans. I don't care if you said the Black Plague and 7 other diseases you're likely to get, they'll go back in the stadium and watch the game because that's what they do. And it's that important to them. But sometimes people don't always know what's best for them. I mean, it's not going to be their decision ultimately. It's going to be a much more collective decision, not based on emotions and how badly we want football. We all want football. You don't think I want to get back in the booth? I'm extremely hopeful. But hope without facts and the truth is not a strategy. It's a terrible strategy. And that's what, in large part, got us into this mess. So you have to have the facts on your side. And only the experts can give their best guess about what a prudent course of action is.
To what extent do you think we see empty venues for a while? I mean, in terms of the play going on without spectators?
Here's the question that has to be answered. Is TV revenue so important and essential that we will get back to playing regardless whether or not fans are in the stadiums? The Premier League in England believes that it is. Those TV dollars, you take them away, that a sizable chunk of the teams in that league will not make it financially. So my understanding is they've made the decision to play in empty stadiums, if need be, for television. And the feeling is that having Premier League games on TV, and that is maybe even more a part of the fabric of that country than American football is here. That's hard to imagine, but I think it's probably true. That would be exactly what the country needs to feel like at least we're taking steps back towards normal. And have those soccer games on TV would be very important nationally. Now, if that same decision is made here regarding pro football with empty stadiums, they might take that step to do that. College is much more complicated. A big chunk of revenues in college comes from the live gate and the donations that are tied to tickets and suites. Way bigger chunk in college than the NFL. The NFL is heavily weighted towards television money. So that might influence that decision. But, playing in empty stadiums is certainly a possibility.
How long before you think we see a full college football stadium?
Some places will be full, but I think there'll be a lot of people justifiably spooked by this. How many? Who knows? I have no sense of that because, when you're in quarantine, you're not out among people. So I don't know. I know from comments on social media that the climate is very different when you ask people from different states because they've been affected differently at this point. And I think you're going to have. Already there's been more social distancing in college football stadiums in recent years than there has been in the past. Attendance has been declining as people have chosen to experience the game in other ways. So I think most people in the sport are preparing for best case scenario, 20-25% hit. Best case scenario. Could be much, much worse than that.